It's that time for our daily Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leak update, and man, you do not want to miss this one. Let's dive in. So if you haven't been following, we know that there's two particular leakers. We've got the Riddler Coup, who's been around for months and actually dating back to the previous game cycle of Legends Arceus and BDSP. And then we have the newest leaker, Kaka, who seemingly has a beta version of the game and is leaking screenshots and much more information. There's a lot in this video today, so we're gonna dive in. The Riddler actually says one Gen 5 future counterpart. A-Drop's gonna love it too, cause it's a bug. Did I make it? Am I famous? The Riddler knows me. And I responded, let's go! And I was pretty pumped about it, but then the Riddler goes on to say, LOL, but it's not a bug type anymore. The origin is a bug type, plot twist. Womp, womp, womp. So I got played, but we actually know what that form is because the other leaker decided to tell us what it is. So let's take a look. It's gonna be Volcarona, Generation 5. Volcarona is going to get a new form, as Amy at Japan is reporting from Kaka, as is Gallade. They are both getting new forms, which is exciting times. I think Volcarona is okay. It's never been my favorite bug type. I know a lot of people really like Volcarona, but the fact that it's getting a new form is cool. I don't know how you change that from bug fire to not bug. I always felt like bug type was such a weird type when it came to forms because, first of all, there's never been a bug type regional form, by the way. And two, most Pokemon that are bug type, it's hard for them to not be bug type anymore, and like vice versa, right? Like Pokemon that are not bug type, for them to become bug type is kind of weird. There's some arguments you could make for like Goodra, Haxorus, Flygon, but generally speaking, you know, if a Pokemon's not a bug type, it's not really gonna become one. But we'll wait and see how that all plays out. But it does seem as though the Riddler is pointing towards Volcarona, and then again, the other leaker, Kaka, kind of hinted at the fact that it is gonna be Volcarona. I do think the Riddler likes me though, because the other day I tweeted at him, which new Pokemon tease do you want to know? And I said, give me bug Pokemon, please. And the Riddler goes, one spider line from trailer 1, also teased in my former code Riddle. And now we officially know that that kind of cape or cloak or jacket or whatever that was draped over the chair with the spider web icon is indeed hinting at a brand new spider Pokemon line. You heard it here. I got you guys that inside information publicly on Twitter. So you're welcome, bug Pokemon fans. I got some info about Volcarona, and I got us the info about the spider Pokemon line. So we no longer have to speculate what this icon is. It's not the evil team. It is that there is gonna be indeed a new spider Pokemon. I think it'll be really fun to kind of go back to the original trailer and the second trailer and look back when we have all the information and see what clues they really hit in there, because it seems like there's quite a few. I know I've been a little bit annoying this week, guys, but we are just about 3,000 subscribers away from 1 million. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. YouTube tells me that like half of you guys are not subscribed. So take a second, click that sub button, get in before 1 million. Once we hit 1 million, I'll probably never ask again. That's not true, but I'm not gonna ask for a while. So make sure you guys subscribe. It's a huge milestone. I've been making videos for over 10 years. It's actually like 12 years. So subscribe to the channel for Pokemon updates, news, leaks, and more. Amy at Japan reporting on Kaka again, saying that there is a new coin Pokemon and a new fairy Pokemon. The coin has been heavily hinted at from the Riddler, so that's nothing new. The fairy Pokemon, that's very generic, so it doesn't really get us much information. But apparently there's gonna be a new cactus Pokemon as well. So we've got a few cactuses, right? We got Maractus, we got Cacnea, Cacturne. We'll have to wait and see what that's gonna be. Is it a new form? All we know is that there's gonna be a new cactus Pokemon, as reported from Kaka. We also know that Salamence is going to get a new form. Salamence not only made it into the Dex, but is getting a new form. And it seems as though these forms, these ancient future forms, they don't evolve. They're just like one-off, which is very strange. So we know that like Delibird, Mischievous get them. They don't evolve apparently. So this Salamence is gonna get a new form. I saw some reports saying it was 2 forms, a future and a past form. I don't know about that, but based on the leaks that we've had so far, Salamence is gonna be getting a new form, which could be pretty nuts. I mean, Salamence is a pretty dope Pokemon. Giving that thing a new form could be very, very epic. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out, but I'm relatively excited about that. I mean, that's kind of sick, Salamence getting a new form. The Riddler, who is seemingly putting out more information now as a result of the other leaker. It's like we got 2 leakers in tandem. The Riddler says one Gen 1 regional fake crawls from the sea to the land, and we'll have to wait and see what that is. What Pokemon from Generation 1 could crawl from the sea to the land in its transformation of becoming a new regional form, or fake rather, from the sea to the land? A lot of people speculated maybe Lapras. Some people thought maybe the fossils like Kabuto and Omanite, but we've been told the fossils don't make it into the game. And then the next thing that came to mind was like Tentacool. You've got Horsey as well as another Pokemon that kind of is in the sea. Krabby would be another one, but Krabby already is on land as well, so I'm not sure that one fits, but those are just some speculative points. If you have any guesses, feel free to put them in the comment section below. And then some more miscellaneous information about the game. Eggs are in Scarlet and Violet. However, there's no breeding center in Scarlet and Violet. This is one of those things because I don't know, how do I say this? This is a beta version of the game that we're getting leaks from, right? So I think there's things that are still very much so subject to change. And I think the fact that there's no way to breed in the game feels very weird to me. This is a mechanic that's been in the game since Generation 2. I don't anticipate them getting rid of it. But they do go on to say that there's no crossbreeding. There's another way to get eggs. There's a new method to get eggs. So maybe Pokemon has decided, you know what? This process of breeding to get good IVs and egg moves and stuff, it's not good anymore for the games. We're gonna introduce a new way to obtain eggs to optimize your Pokemon in a faster way to get competitive Pokemon more efficiently. This is a speculative point for me. I don't know for sure, but it would make sense. It's the only way I see them doing it, right? The only way I see them throwing away the current breeding system for something new for eggs is to streamline the competitive aspect for players, because obviously hacking is a rampant issue in competitive Pokemon. Whether it's an issue or not, I guess, is to be determined or debatable, but it's a thing that happens. Like, everyone's hacking pretty much, right? So I can see them tweaking that. That's the only way I see it. Otherwise, I feel like this is either a mistranslation or it's just simply not in the game yet. Apparently, there's no NPC in the game that reminds you of moves. Like, there's no move reminder. So we'll have to wait and see if that's true. Feels like, again, a step backwards, right? Like, in the previous game, we had an instance where they very easily added the move reminder in the Pokemon Center. So for them to take that away seems very strange. The next bit of information that we have is that there's apparently going to be a new Earthworm Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Whether or not that's a bug type, I do not know, but an Earthworm Pokemon is going to be making its debut. We've also got information about an ostrich-like Pokemon that apparently is similar to Cleopatra. I saw some notes that it was a Psychic-type Pokemon, but apparently it's got hair similar to, like, Cleopatra, so who knows, but that's what's been reported by the leaker KK. And that's pretty much that. I think there's still a lot to recap. There's a few things I'm going to talk about in an upcoming video as more information continues to come out. There's some talks about some different dog Pokemon and things of that nature, but at this point we've gotten so much, it's actually wild. Like, I can't believe how much information that has continued to leak, and it seems like there's just no end in sight. This is gonna keep happening. So again, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. And the last thing for today is a little bit of a story spoiler that KK had just put out that was translated by Pokesutami. And basically what it says is, the player's Pokemon cannot be used during the final boss battle. I don't know what that means you're going to use against them. That's going to be pretty interesting. And then it says that the legendaries, Koraidon and Miraidon, cannot be used until after this battle. So while we'll probably gain access to Koraidon and Miraidon throughout the game, we know there's no bike, so obviously we're going to have to travel quicker with these Pokemon at some point. It seems as though we don't get to use them until kind of after the final boss battle, but I don't really know what you're going to use if you don't get to use your own Pokemon, so I guess there's still a lot to be seen there, but hopefully we don't get too many story spoilers. That's probably the one thing I don't really want to see when it comes to these leaks. Thanks so much for watching our continued leak coverage. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and be sure to drop a like, and like I said, one more time, make sure you guys subscribe. We're almost at 1 million, so thank you for all that, and I'll see you guys in the next leak video, which is probably going to be tomorrow, because the leaker is probably going to keep posting, so I'll see you then. Bye!